So, you keep getting distracted. How can you overcome that? Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Exploration series. This week I wanted to talk about something that really affects everybody, and that's just getting distracted. You'll see behind me I've got my two favorite distractions, YouTube and Discord. I often find myself getting sucked into these things, and then I just spend hours and hours on them and not actually working on my projects. And eventually I just get behind, and that's no fun, and that's actually super frustrating. So one thing I wanted to do is just talk about how you can recognize that you're getting distracted by stuff and how you can actually work to overcome it. And really, once you recognize it, it's a lot easier to overcome. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is that everybody has distractions, whether or not it's YouTube or chat rooms or Facebook or even just going outside and actually being a social human being. Like, there's always something that gets in the way and gets you distracted. And finding those things is very, very important as an artist, because it's very important to treat your art professionally once you get to a certain level where you want to have like a schedule, you want to be able to work on things for X number of hours a day, and that really actually is important. So what I've found when trying to find distractions is to start marking down just how long you've worked on a project, what you've worked on, and how you can move forward from there. And I'm not going to go into full detail, but the Video Game Music Academy actually wrote a very good article on the Agile process when it comes to working on just any creative project. And I will have a link for that up in the thing at the top there and in the description below. And the short version is to basically block out your projects 2 weeks at a time. So you find out what you feel like you can accomplish over 2 weeks, and then you kind of basically just track each of those projects as you go, which would be taking a stopwatch or a timer and marking when you start, marking when you stop. That way, over time, you'll get a very good idea of how much time you spend on a certain project and what is what you're capable of doing. And I think that that's very, very important. And I've been doing this for probably a couple months now, and I've noticed that when I start to burn out, my hours that I put into the projects actually starts to diminish greatly. And I can look back and be like, oh, well, yeah, I got hooked on a YouTube series, or I started watching a bunch of my friends' Twitch streams again. And it's very easy for me to find out, well, okay, so I have a problem now. I need to mindfully go back and make sure that I'm not wasting, 3 hours at a time watching YouTube videos, or just focusing on things that aren't really what I should be focusing on at the moment. So I feel that this is very important. And when you're working on creative stuff as a hobby, where you don't necessarily have strict deadlines or anything like that, it's a lot easier to be a little bit more lax when it comes to this stuff. But when you want to start treating your creative work as in a more professional way, I think that it's very important that you start not only allotting time to work on things, but actually tracking your time as well. I think that that's incredibly important and very valuable to not only alleviate having all these distractions, but also just working towards building kind of a schedule that you can work around. And that's very, very important, I feel. So do you have any tips or tricks or just stories about the distractions in your life? I'd love to hear them, and I'll be responding to comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Be remarkable. This series is also supported by some fabulous Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much for helping continue the Creative Exploration series.